A driver just crossed the finish line with a broken car underneath them and a championship lead still growing. Meanwhile, 45 minutes away in victory lane, a driver who waited 63 races for his first win just proved that patience wins championships, and now he's done it twice in a row. Two storylines, one track, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why Iowa Speedway might have just reshaped the entire back half of this NASCAR season. Carson Kvapil took the checkered flag at Iowa Speedway, backing up his Indianapolis win with a second straight victory in NASCAR's O'Reilly Series. It came after a chaotic double overtime finish that saw his JR Motorsports teammate Ross Chastain lose the lead on a late restart, and a multi-car wreck collects several contenders behind him. On the Cup side, Denny Hamlin turned a nightmare weekend into a top 5 finish. He started dead last after NASCAR scrapped his qualifying time over unapproved car changes, and he did it with brakes that were functionally gone before the green flag even dropped. He still finished 5th and stretched his championship lead to over 100 points. Let's start with Kvapil, because this is the kind of story NASCAR fans wait years for, 63 races. That's how long it took him to find victory lane for the first time. In a sport where rookies are judged almost instantly, that's an eternity. Then Indianapolis happened, and suddenly the floodgates opened. Iowa wasn't a fluke, it was confirmation. His JR Motorsports team controlled most of the night. Chastain led the majority of the run, looking like the class of the field, until a caution flew with just 5 laps remaining and flipped the entire complexion of the race. That's when things got messy, and when Kvapil's night truly began. Now flip over to Hamlin. This isn't a redemption story about a struggling team finding speed. This is a story about a proven champion physically fighting a race car for over 300 laps with equipment that had already failed him. His brakes gave out in practice, not late in a run after 3 laps. At a tight, punishing 3/4 mile bull ring like Iowa, that's not a minor inconvenience. That's the difference between competing and surviving. Then his qualifying effort got wiped out entirely because his crew made changes. NASCAR hadn't cleared, dropping him to the back of a 35-car field before the race even started. And with the postseason 3 races away, none of this happened at a convenient time. Let's talk about what actually happened at that final restart, because this is where the race was decided. Chastain had the stronger car most of the night, but strong cars don't win overtime restarts. Clean tires and clean execution do. When he broke traction on that first overtime restart, it wasn't bad luck. Restarts at short tracks like Iowa are about mechanical grip in the first 100 feet, and once a car breaks loose, there's no recovering that lost momentum before the field swallows you up. That's exactly the gap Kvapil exploited, twice. What's more impressive is that this wasn't a case of Kvapil inheriting a win through attrition. He beat his own teammate on execution, not circumstance. And when the second overtime restart came around, he did it again, while Roger Cruth capitalized on the chaos behind him to complete a JR Motorsports 1-2 finish. That's not luck. That's a program that has figured out exactly how to close out short track races under pressure. Now, the wreck behind them deserves attention too. When Brent Cruz got into Ryan Sieg and Justin Allgaier, it collected multiple cars and sparked a confrontation after the race. In a series where playoff points and finishing positions can define a season, incidents like that carry weight beyond the moment. Allgaier's frustration wasn't about one bad restart. It was about a night's worth of results disappearing in a single move. Not a Hamlin, because this is where the analysis gets serious. Racing without functional brakes at a short track isn't just difficult. It's dangerous. Brakes at a track like Iowa aren't just for slowing down. They're a tool drivers use to rotate the car through the center of the corner. Without that tool, every single lap becomes a guessing game on when to turn in and how much speed to carry. Do that for 350 laps, and you're not just tired. You're physically breaking down in real time. The fact that Hamlin still drove from the back of the field to a top 5 finish is frankly one of the more underrated performances of his career. It also raises a real question. Is gutting through a race like that smart, or is it reckless? A 100-point championship cushion is valuable, but so is a driver's body, especially one that's 45 years old and has already stated his career has an expiration date. That's the tension here. Hamlin is playing out the final stretch of a legendary career, and performances like Iowa are exactly why teams start planning succession early. Which brings us to Brent Cruz, the same young driver involved in that Iowa wreck, who is already being positioned as the eventual replacement in that number 11 car. Hamlin's own timeline appears to be built around when Cruz is ready to take over. Expect two very different reactions circulating right now. On the Kvapil side, fans are buzzing about a legitimate breakout star. 2 wins in a row, a strong teammate battle, and a program that looks like the team to beat heading into the summer stretch. That's exciting, feel-good storytelling. On the Hamlin side, the reaction is far more emotional. Fans and analysts are pointing to that finish as proof of exactly why he's earned his reputation, grinding out a top 5 in a car that was, by his own admission, barely drivable. But there's also concern building in the background. A champion openly joking about retiring mid-race after physically punishing himself for over 3 hours tends to raise eyebrows rather than get laughed off. Best case scenario, Kvapil's momentum carries JR Motorsports into a dominant summer stretch, turning this from a breakout story into a full-blown championship push. Meanwhile, Hamlin's team fixes the mechanical issues, he stays healthy, and that 100-point cushion turns into a real safety net heading into the postseason. Worst case scenario, the physical toll from a race like Iowa lingers longer than expected for Hamlin, and cracks start to show as the postseason intensifies, right as a hungry young talent like Cruz waits in the wings. For Kvapil, the pressure of expectations replaces the pressure of chasing a first win, and the next few races test whether this breakout is sustainable or a hot streak. So here's the real question: was Denny Hamlin's drive at Iowa one of the gutsiest performances of the season, or a warning sign that even champions have limits? And on the other side of it, is Carson Kvapil the real deal, or is JR Motorsports simply building the strongest short track program in the garage right now? Drop your take in the comments. Tell me who impressed you more this weekend, and if you want breakdowns like this every single race weekend, make sure you're subscribed, because this season is about to get a lot more interesting.